What's up, y'all? Welcome to Carolina Takedown Talk, episode number 31. I'm Ryan Mitchell, joined by Rhett Hoy. We are a North Carolina wrestling podcast presented to you by Carolina's Mat News.
We are also brought to you by Chain Wrestling. Chain Wrestling is our newest partner. They teamed up with us, got us some sick gear. Ryan's rocking the white classic logo. We got a special edition logo on there right now for the Olympics, the American flag in the back. We're going to have some more stuff coming out soon. But go check it out at chainwrestling.co. Go to partners and then click on Carolina Takedown Talk. And also use Carolina State 22. Promo code Carolina State 22. Get 15% off your entire order. All right? We want to see some Carolina Takedown Talk gear at some of the national tournaments coming up this offseason. We saw some at the state tournament this past weekend.
Sick to see gear like
awesome.
that.
Thank you so much for all the support. The proceeds from the gear help us get to tournaments. They're going to help our traveling this summer, going to different clubs and different tournaments and things like that we've got planned, and also help us get new equipment and also pay for hotels and things like that. It is what paid for our trip to Greensboro to cover the state tournament. That along with our Patreon and our PayPal, which is on our website at CarolinaTakedownTalk.com. Our Patreon, you get exclusive content and get a little bit extra than the normal subscriber on YouTube. Also, with that being said, go subscribe to our YouTube. All right, you're already here watching the video. Just click the subscribe button down at the bottom. All right, turn on the bell so you never miss a video. It's going to turn on your notifications so you never miss a video that we upload. So
go check out the highlight video that Rhett put together for the state finals. It is hype. So don't miss it. Go check it out on our YouTube channel. Let's talk state finals. Let's talk state tournament. What a tournament. Amazing. What a weekend. Wow. We were talking right here before this. It was like Christmas to us. We had so much fun. We can't wait to get back and do it again next year.
Yeah, cannot wait. I wish I could hit a fast forward button and just go straight through and just do it again. It's coming up, Thursday. But it doesn't work like that. We got a few big tournaments this offseason that we really hope to see our studs at from North Carolina. I want to see people at Virginia Beach at high school nationals. I definitely want to see people at Fargo, at Southeast Regionals.
Cadet trials.
Yeah, cadet trials.
Especially our ladies. I want to see our ladies there.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we're going to grow our sport. That's how we're going to get better is go compete. The biggest tournament of the season, of the regular season, happened this weekend.
Yes.
In Greensboro State Tournament. Everyone's aware. That's why they're here. Right, so we had some big things. Started off, we have two new 4-time state champions, the 10th and 11th in history. At number 10, we've got Levi Andrews, heavyweight from Avery County High School.
Avery County becomes the second school with two 4-time state champs, with obviously Levi Andrews. He just won.
And then his future college coach, John Mark Bentley.
Yeah, the only other school is East Gaston with Dusty McKinney and Justin Sparrow.
And then number 11 with the most I don't want to say dramatic because there's nothing. Yeah. But
the
everyone
adversity
there
he had to
was
fight through
just,
for that one.
Yeah, everyone in the whole arena was just on pins and needles. Kyle Monteperto wins his 4th title for CATA, becomes the 11th 4-time state champ that we have had.
One of the most dominant 4-times.
Yes, one of the most dominant 4-time state champs. And just to show you how good he is, in the state finals, he was wrestling in positions to get his face away from everything.
Yeah, I know.
Which, your face is kind of your
it's
first...
important. Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of important. Your head, hands, defense, stuff like that. Like, they were picking positions to protect his face.
I think it also goes to show how dominant he was in the state finals, and it was kind of not underneath him per se, but he dominates usually by a lot more. Yeah. And so people were ready for him to do that. Yeah. But he still won so handily.
Super impressive.
Everyone's just used to him teching and pinning everybody. Yeah. That was a little...
No doubt. So history's made there.
Yep.
And then a Legends Last Run, right? Yeah. Todd Odom from Robbinsville. If you haven't watched the interview, we did a small interview with him. We don't do a lot of interviews, but it was one that we couldn't pass up. Whenever we heard the news, we knew that we needed to hear his message. of his final state tournament. Todd Odom retires from coaching in North Carolina. He says he's going to still be around the sport, which is amazing. You know, I think it's big that we keep people like that love the sport as much in it some way, shape, or form. But Todd Odom,
congrats on retirement.
Yes.
Enjoy it. Just thank you for all you've done for wrestling in North Carolina, and just really, we're gonna miss him. Right, he's a guy that he did things the right way. Right,
Yes.
he won a lot, had a lot of state champs.
Right.
But I love the way his kids compete, the way they act, the way they treat each other, the way they treat others. They did things the right way. So congrats, Coach Odom.
So, also, some people wanted to know what our records were whenever we're picking things. So we're just going to do the team state champs really fast. Ryan goes 4 for 4.
Yeah, I picked all the champs team wise. I think, you know, some of them they were a little more obvious than others, but
I go 2 for 4.
In your defense, the ones that you picked, Cata and Lake Norman, I don't feel like you went 1 for 4, right? Or no, you picked 4.
I went Robbinsville, Bandy's,
Cata,
Lake Norman.
So you went 1 for 4. But now here's the deal, though. You went 1 for 4, but
I did go 1 for 4. Yeah,
all the teams that you picked were in the thick of it. It's not like you picked somebody who finished like 7th. Like they were all right there.
I think all of mine were
the one that you picked.
Runner-ups, maybe.
Yeah, all the ones you picked were the runner-ups. I think I can't remember if Lake Norman finished second.
I'm pretty sure Lake Norman.
But here's the deal, though, that you get credit for. I think, or should get credit for more than anybody, is that the one that you did, you were on it from literally day one.
From day one.
Day one, which is something I was not on any of the picks. So, mad credit to you for.
Yeah, I picked all the runner-ups.
Yeah,
except for
Bandy's.
For Bandy's.
So, and I wouldn't have made the Bandy's pick if it wasn't for you talking about it and the kids convincing me and me paying attention to them all year. So, shout out to you though for being on seriously on that one from day one.
So, all right. The finals were absolutely insane.
Yes.
State term was absolutely insane. So we're going to break it down starting at 182, just like they did the finals. We're going to talk mainly about the finals matches because we recapped the whole tournament after each round. So if you want round-by-round recaps, go check out our previous videos from the state tournament live at the Coliseum.
Talk about the finals, kind of just like Brett said, go straight through.
Yeah.
One thing though, first, this reclassification and some of the regions, bonkers.
We need to fix it.
It's a little outlandish. I haven't gotten to dive super deep into all the brackets yet, just because we got back. And
I heard a few rumblings that
there was a couple
that maybe things might be changing.
I don't know,
might be going the right way. Who knows? But
just a quick glance. Yeah. And like I said, I haven't dove all the way deep in the brackets because we just got back and spending time with the family, but. The 4A Midwest, which is one of the regions that people were really talking about, that this region is so stacked. They had like 116 kids or something like that, not even qualify for the region. Insane. They had six champs, and they had around 40% of the placers.
Came from one region.
Now, if you're like 40% doesn't sound like a whole lot, but you think there's 4 regions, so it should be more near the 25 range. Yeah. And it's not exactly 40. It's just I think it's a little over 40, like 42 or something like that. So around 40%.
And we're going to dig into that more.
One region. And
after this
they're
video,
knocking each other out, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to try and dig into that video or that more, maybe another video.
Yes.
But we do want to bring up the fact that something's got to give there. Like something's got to change there.
In 2A, there's this discrepancy too with Trinity and Moorhead moving to the Midwest. The West and Midwest had 68 placers. The East and Mideast had 16.
Wow.
So the shift of moving a couple of those kids over teams over the region kind of really shifted the power a little bit. But let's talk state finals.
Yes, let's go. 1A, 182. Let's kick it off.
I'm going to tee up the 1A, 2A. Rhett going to tee up the 3A, 4A. 1A, 182. We saw Kyle Fink come out, control the match throughout, and take the win to cap off an illustrious career.
Yep.
Only loss at the state tournament is to 4-time state champ Levi Andrews, which maybe that was the most decorate post looking back back now that their career's over, that might be the most decorated state final of all time.
Wow. Yeah.
A 4-time state champ and a 4-time finalist and a 3-time champ. He controlled the way out, threw it out, gets the fall. Congrats, Kyle Fink, man. You looked phenomenal.
Now up to 2A 182.
2A 182. Raheem Jones,
man.
North Pitt. We saw him. He was battling the injury. We could see it, right? His shoulder was taped up. He gutted it out. He looked dominant on his way to the finals, and then he got a 7-4 decision. It was back and forth for a little bit, but then Raheem kind of controlled the last little bit there.
Yeah. So 3A 182 here. And we're starting at 182 because that is exactly how the finals ran. We're going to try and recap it the same way that the finals ran. 382. 3A 182. Brady Ross, he seals up a phenomenal career, winning another state title over Jaden Paul from Cape Fear. Cape Fear had an awesome.
They had a great tournament.
Awesome tournament.
Jaden Paul had the hot hand coming into the finals too.
Did.
But then he met Brady Ross,
and Brady Ross controlled that match. Wrestled.
I almost feel like Brady is almost underrated because he has Curry and Montesperto on his same team, and he doesn't.
Which really fast. Is that the best?
I think it's the best senior
class to ever be graduated.
Yeah, I think so.
A 4-timer,
a 3-time
finalist.
Yep, with 3 titles. And then a 2-time champ, which is a 4-time placer, and Brady never finished lower than 4th. He went 4, 3, 1, and a
3-time qualifier and runner-up.
I think the only class that maybe gets close to it is Riverside's 04 class, where they had Vincent Ramirez, who was a 3-time champ, George Hickman, who is a 4-time finalist, 3-time champ, and then they had Daniel Lamaze, who was a champ and a couple-time placer. That gets close, but I don't think it's as good as this one.
Right.
It's not as good as this one.
Brady Ross dominates, looked great.
Amazing.
Controlled the entire match.
I'm excited to see him on the next level.
Impressive run. Now, 4A 182 was a lot of fun, okay? Had a lot of fireworks in the semis with Bell and Testa from Davie County. Testa taking 3rd and having a great tournament. I mean, really did have a great tournament. I can't wait to see him continue to grow. I think he might be the guy now at that weight next year if he can stay 82. But Devin Bell knocks off Gavin Hartzell, a defending state champ, and wins his first title, and with a fall in 1 minute and 7 seconds. Looked great. I really think that Bell dominated throughout the whole state tournament. Had a really impressive
he gave
run.
up the first takedown in that final match.
I think so.
Right? I thought so. I was dialed in more to the 1A, 2A ones, and then shifted my head over. We kind of split us up, and I took 2, you took 2. But I thought I looked over and he gave up the first takedown based on the crowd reaction there.
If I'm not mistaken, I know that Bell had a lot of interactions with the crowd this weekend.
Yeah.
He had some fun, but I'm excited to see what he does at Campbell. Excited to see what he does up there with Sintez and Gonzer and the crew up there. But had a really impressive run. Finally gets that state tournament. You know, he talked about falling short a few times, having a few failures in his career. Finally finishes it off.
Gets it done.
Gets the job done. So, let's roll to 195.
1A, 195, a man we talk about a lot. He goes a fall under the minute, which caps his whole state tournament. He goes 3 falls under a minute. He spent less time on the mat than maybe anyone.
I think
he did. It's 3 falls under a minute. Impressive. We talk about him a lot.
MOW type stuff. If there wasn't a four-time
or another guy that we're going to talk about in a little bit. That I will talk about that. But yeah, 3 falls under a minute. Cage, if you're listening, congratulations. I hope to see him at like Virginia Beach, or even better at. I know he's a big football guy, but I hope we get him some freestyle stuff.
Yes, please.
I think he can do well at cadets.
I think so. My question, and we're jumping ahead just a little bit now. But a big question that I had before the state tournament and right before the finals, who's our best sophomore? And I narrowed it down between Cage and Cam Stinson.
Yes.
Who do you give it to?
barely cage right now. I feel
Barely?
like still cage just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I've flip flopped a few times.
Yeah.
I flip flop, and Elon Murray's in that discussion too. I think
Yes.
he's third. He's third.
Yeah, and he's nipping at the heels.
But it's nip and tuck. Like it's just real close. So 2A 195, Newton Conover, which we're gonna talk about them. These next couple weights right here. What a tournament they had! 5 for 5 on state placers.
Yep.
Bring 5, place 5. But Owen Clark, Coach Clark's son, gets it done in the finals. Controlled decision, kind of like he's done all year long, right? He's not going to go out and blow the doors off you, but you're also not going to get very close to beating him either.
No.
And so he goes out, does the thing, gets the controlled win over Callaway and Madison. A phenomenal year. A couple years. He's only had one loss in the past 2 years, and that was in the state semis last year. So congrats, Owen. We appreciate you listening, and awesome job on your state title.
So going up to 3A 195, there was I call it a big upset. Other people, they don't, because to us, this guy's kind of snuck under that radar, right? To me, at least. And it might just be because Ryan's first flight, homership, I don't know.
Bias, all
bias.
the above.
There we go.
All the above.
Yeah, the first flight bias. I hate to bring it up again, I know.
Yeah,
but
it was a tough one.
Jonathan Hance knocks off Milos Gargel in the semis in overtime. Wrestled lights out in that match.
He looks great.
His way to the finals, and then has a awesome match with Peyton Fisher from Kings Mountain, which Peyton Fisher...
Fire. He was on fire the whole tournament.
Yeah, he had... Talk about the hot hand. He came in hot, right? Came in a 4 seed, right? Taking 4th at regionals, coming into the state tournament, didn't care. Goes 6-1, goes 6-5 in a tight one against West Carteret, and then knocks off Colby Mace from Ford in a barn burner. That was a fun one to watch. Kind of got a little chippy, but he kept his cool.
Yep.
Stay collected, and makes his way to the finals, but runs into a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
And Hance.
Hance
was so impressive. Like, we were doing
Yes.
our live streams, and I kept on seeing people say, 3A 195 Hance. Like, watch that.
He's
Watch
a guy I
Y'all are
didn't
sleeping
know.
on him. Y'all are sleeping. We slept on you.
We did.
But, dude, congratulations. One of my favorite moments.
He's a guy I didn't really know a whole lot about.
Yeah,
and
I didn't either.
He came in, and right away I was like, this kid's
really good.
Yeah, this kid's really good. I knew him and Milos could be he'd be good, as we like to say. And I knew him and Milos could be a tough match, and he won the exchange at the end and got that match. And then most thing I was impressed about is he gave up the first takedown in the state final, and stayed calm, cool, collected, built his way back, ended up putting Fisher on his back.
Chipping away.
Coming away with the win, and very, very impressed by him.
Hance, had a amazing tournament. So did Fisher. Fisher really put together that Cinderella run, 4 seed to the finals. But Hance was just on another level. Gargel does come back and take 3rd. Love seeing that from from a senior that takes that loss and then says, you know what, I'm going to get the next best thing. I'm going to go out with my hand raised. So shout out to you, Milos. We're proud of you. But Hance, 3A 195, absolute monster. One of the most dominant guys in the tournament, I think, just like from watching him. Just dominated matches.
A revelation for me. Someone, like I said, didn't know much about him.
One of my favorite moments of being in the, getting kind of some of the backstage footage that I got and everything, and I wish I'd have got it, but just that moment he comes back, he comes up the stairs off the tunnel whenever you're going upstairs, and he's back there and just like has this moment, just yells like, man, I'm a state champ. Just the moment of realization, sinking in just a little bit. It sinks in, just yelled it, and just like, I wish I got it. I was turning around as he was like jumping up and down celebrating. It was just awesome. So congratulations to you, Hance. 4A 195, Caleb Beatty is back.
Yeah.
Right? Battles his way back, finds himself in the finals against a tough Sam Cower from Cox Mill, who really put together a really tough,
Cower's been really good
run.
all year long.
Goes tech ball, fall, and 10-3 all the way to the finals here. But Beatty didn't have an easy road either.
No.
I think Beatty might have had one of the most impressive runs to the state finals of the tournament, knocking off Quintez Shipman from Lumberton, which college coaches, we talk about all the time, guys that you need to have on your radar. Quintez Shipman
He's a
is
steal.
a guy that you need to get right now, okay?
He's
From
one of those-
watching him at the state tournament, his ceiling is high. You need to grab him now.
He's a steal because he's one of the guys. It's gonna take a little bit of time to develop in a college room, but I think he's got
Once he gets there,
all the tools, right?
I agree.
But
and
Caleb
then knocks off Aiden Mayer.
Yeah. Caleb's top work separates him,
Yes.
right? And that's what we saw at Super 32. His deep run at Super 32 is based on top work. And if you get underneath him, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think most people should be doing this for the rest of his career next year. Just don't go underneath and then try not to get taken down, right? Not to try to give a formula to beat him, but good night. Like, that's definitely not the ideal situation to be in.
I mean, I'm really excited about this bracket next year because we get Maher, Beatty, and Coward back.
Yep.
Juniors. All juniors right there. Super, super excited about that. And it was an awesome tournament. Congratulations to Caleb Beatty. 3-0 win in the finals. Right?
Two-time state champ now.
Two-time.
Heading up to 220. Speaking of two-time champs, we got Big Ben Watcha from Robbinsville.
Yep.
Came, showed out, got the 7-3 decision, which we talked about this on our pre-show with Jason Fulmore and Frank.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat really good guys multiple times in a row. It's really hard to beat them that many times without taking a loss or something happening or being really close. And Carson Taylor from Swain and Ben have wrestled several times this year being in the same conference. So he gets that 7-3 decision. Pretty much, he wrestled his match. Every position that he was supposed to be in or wanted to be in, he got to.
Right.
Just congratulations to him. The story of that bracket, to me, too, a backside freshman from Avery County, Grayson Holloman, not even supposed to be a starter, right? We didn't talk about him until way deep, till the finals, until we saw him in the state brackets. Right? And he comes and gets third with bonus points along the way. A fall in the first round, and then a fall in the Wisconsin semis, and a major decision in third, fourth. Huge for Avery's team race.
Yes.
Huge for Avery's team race.
Really
which,
big.
11 for 11 for Avery. That is
Super
insane.
impressive. Yes.
Insane.
Super impressive. But just also we want to say shout out to Zach Vance, right, from Avery. Wish he had been able to wrestle in this tournament.
Injuries suck.
But injuries suck.
Injuries suck.
And big shout out to you for looking out for your team.
Yeah. And,
in that story, but
and what a room!
Yeah,
be able to plug a kid in, and they get third.
Yeah, to be able to plug a freshman into 220 and say,
"Here you
all
go,
right, man, you're gonna go take third." Let's go 2A.
All right, so 2A, 220, the upset of the tournament in the semis, or the 2A tournament, right? The 2A, Tutty over Creighton, and then he gets to the finals. He's wrestling Brian Gordon of West Stokes. And, man, what a back-and-forth battle. Right? I think they exchanged the leads maybe 3-4 times.
Yeah.
Coach Clark and Coach Schiffer are out of their seats for this one, right? It was crazy. And Tutty comes out on top. It was 8-7, and he gets a last-second go behind to make it that 10-7 score. A kid we saw at the grapple that we both were like, man, that kid's good.
Yeah,
that kid's really good. But his progression from then to the state tournament was what won him the tournament. How much better he got, especially with just his positioning and is able to go with those go behinds.
Right.
Very impressive. Congratulations to Tutty. Joseph.
And shout out to Chase Creighton there for battling back, taking third. Another kid
that's
got to
be hard,
about,
right?
Your senior year, you're a defending state champ. Two-time defending state champ. And you fall in the semis.
But you come back.
And you get third. That's mental toughness. Shout out to you, Trace.
Yeah.
I mean, just that.
And he's a kid we've talked about all year long about how at Super 32 he played football the night before and wrestled, and then what a career.
Monster.
Right? It's another one of those seniors where, like, what a career.
Yeah.
3-time placer, 2-time champ. Good luck on whatever you do next.
So, 3A 220, Dylan Smith.
Whoo! This guy.
A junior. One of the guys that I am most... 220 across the state next year.
Gonna be fun.
Loaded.
Yeah, gonna be good.
Loaded. Dylan Smith takes the title over Landon Sargent from Cape Fear,
just a sophomore.
Who's a sophomore. Who had a very, very impressive run.
Did you see that exchange in the very beginning of the match that didn't come out in any points? I think ended up actually Smith finished the takedown. It was wild. It was so they were locked up upper body, and I can't remember how we got there, but ended up with Smith kind of going to his back, and then they just a scramble ensued.
Wow.
And Smith came. I think he ended up coming on top and getting the two. A little fuzzy because so much action was happening. I have to go back and watch it, but I just remember sitting there and being like, "Whoa!" To be able to be that size and move that quickly from both
Smith
the guys,
is an absolute
crazy
tank.
Yeah,
he is built like a tank. But man, again, Cape Fear,
what a
Sergeant,
tournament.
What a tournament. I really didn't think that. I didn't see that coming from them. I didn't see.
Yeah.
I knew they've been good.
I knew they were good. Now. I didn't think they'd be as good as they were. Next year, I won't sleep on them like that.
What a tournament! So 4A 220. I would say the upset of 4A. Of 4A. Maybe the upset of the finals.
I feel like Nathan Carnes has been calling his shot all year long. He was never afraid.
No.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero hesitance on his part to wrestle these guys. He was like, I want Sakari. Yep. I want Carson Floyd. Yep. I want to wrestle Chase Creighton. All those guys he's wrestled all year. And he kept saying, I saw it on social media, he's like, I want these matches.
Yeah.
And we believed him.
I think he commented in one of them just like, of the Carnes Morrison final is going to be fire.
Yeah, he was ready.
That was on like Tuesday.
Yeah, he was ready.
That was on like Tuesday. He wanted that.
And he came out like a madman. Yes. I think he might have wrestled better than anyone 1A through 4A in the finals.
I think so. He came out and wrestled the perfect match. Mm-hmm. Kept things upper body with Sakari, really slowed him down.
Had a great
and I think that Sakari found
too.
Early success with some upper body stuff in the tournament and kind of wanted to, if you get a hot hand with something, you keep it going sometimes, right?
Yep.
Didn't switch down. We heard Coach Stanley yelling, attack the legs, and kind of he kept it upper body and allowed Carnes to control that match. And then the biggest thing is whenever Carnes got in on a shot, he finished.
Yeah, his leg attacks
when he took his shot, he finished.
Yeah,
and he
and he stayed in position too.
And he weathered the big storms. Right, Sakari did like
that headlock on the edge, and then
it's in our highlight video.
Carnes rolled it through. Gosh!
Carnes stays cool, stays collected, gets tossed, but rolls right through. Goes right out of bounds, and it's right back. Fresh start, no 2-0. So man, Nathan Carnes, a junior here, cannot wait to see him come back next year. Was Porter Ridge's first state champion.
Pretty awesome.
And just. Amazing tournament. We've always been Carnes, just awesome tournament, puts it together, perfect time, wrestles the perfect match in the finals there. Congratulations to you. Sakari, an amazing tournament.
Amazing career too.
Amazing career. Good luck. I believe he's going to Marshall to play football.
I think it was at Mars Hill, one or two.
I think it's Marshall. I think he's a D1 guy.
Something impressive.
Yes, but either way, if that's the last time we see you on the mat, thank you. Congratulations. An amazing tournament. Good luck in everything you do.
And so we go from 4A 220, big upset there as far as perception-wise.
Yep.
To history.
Yep.
We already talked about it earlier. Levi Andrews gets it done, wins his 4th title. A little more conservative in this one.
I don't know if he just wanted to hold on to that.
I think he just was doing what he had to do to make sure he won the match, right?
Well, also it's kind of something like we talked about with Jason Fulmore of you wrestle people and you get familiar with them.
Yep.
How many times have him and Carlos Wesley
a lot
wrestled?
A lot. So
and so that has to come into effect here.
And I mean, there was a lot of expectation going
and the pressure when you're forced.
And it also helped he didn't really get his turn on top, right?
Yeah.
And he's really good on top.
Yeah.
So, but 4 titles, heaviest 4-time state champ in North Carolina history.
Yep.
I cannot wait to see him in the black and gold at App. Go Mountaineers. Can't wait to see him kind of closing out duels, getting falls and stuff. All right, and then heading up to 2A 285. We have kind of like I don't want to say Cinderella story because I feel like that's overplayed, but a guy that wasn't supposed to win the tournament won the tournament.
Yeah.
So he goes first round over Soto Bun 8-6. In sudden victory. That's not an indicator he's about to just light the world on fire. But then, so Jaden Gaither of Salisbury then goes fall, and then a 57-second fall in the finals. He didn't want to wait around. He got the fall, went right away for it, and he's a state champ.
Yeah, super impressive run. Congratulations to you, Gaither. Jarrett, good luck at Davidson next year. He's a Davidson commit from Brevard, made the finals there. Had a pretty impressive tournament, but I think he just ran into somebody with a hot hand.
Yep.
And a super athlete, was
really
good. That adds on to that. So at 3A 285, we probably have one of the biggest upsets.
This is probably the biggest upset of 3A for sure.
Yeah, of 3A. So Rory Johnson from North Buncombe, a guy that we've been talking about and a guy that we've been saying might be the most underrated heavyweight in the state, right? But it's always that question of, okay, is he just beating decent guys? Is he just doing this because of his competition level?
They didn't wrestle at any tournament that would have given us a benchmark. Right.
And so when the brackets dropped, we said, we're going to find out.
We had our answers
going to find out. Jameer Ferrier and Rory Johnson. Rory looked great, locked it up. I mean,
went takedown, back, near fall, and then turned him again and got the pin. And
I think it was
buddy.
I think a lot of it was just happened so quick that Jameer couldn't warm up and couldn't catch. I mean, Rory just caught fire so fast in that match that there was nothing really Jameer could do. Rory's a big guy, a super athlete.
And he almost did the same thing in the finals. He goes out, gets a takedown, gets near fall. I was like, oh man, my flip-flopperness is going to pay off because if you don't know, I picked Cody Hardy to win the tournament to start. And then at our finals pre-show, I said, I'm going to flip-flop. I'm going to pick Rory Johnson. And I was like, oh, my flip-flopperness is going to pay off here. And then, nope, Cody Hardy said, not today. Not today.
Two-time champ.
And he chipped his way back.
Yep.
He kind of wore Johnson out.
7-4. Yeah, he almost broke him there in the third. Another shout out to Jameer, right? Heartbreaking loss in the semis. Fights his way back. Finishes out third. Finishes the season with the best he can get. Takes third. Finishes his high school career in North Carolina, maybe. On a win. Hopefully we see him at high school nationals.
Yes.
Right?
Let's see all these guys at high school.
Yeah,
let's
I hope
go.
to see all
Keep
these
it
guys. Yeah. Just go. Don't go out.
Let's keep it. Yeah, let's just keep it. Let's keep it going. We have the talent to do well at these national events, and let's keep it going. Let's get our top guys at Fargo, Cadet Trials, Virginia Beach, whatever. Let's roll.
So 4A 285 was probably the most.
It was your favorite match. You were so hyped for this one.
I was so excited. It was the anticipated matchup of 4A for me. 285, Carson Floyd goes up the heavyweight, takes on Ryland Van from Cary. Two absolute monsters. Carson goes fall all the way to the finals. And Van looked super impressive. Goes fall and then goes 8-4 over McCollop, where we got that clip of his double leg where he stands up with McCollop, finishes the double. Super impressive. That match was awesome though, and people, if you just look at the score, you don't realize how close it was. But McCollop wrestled
really well too.
Great. McCollop looked.
He
awesome.
wrestled great. Van was just Van was just a little better.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I think that day he was just a little bit better. That's a lot.
I mean, McCollop beat him earlier in the year, but I think Van was just a little better.
Yeah, I think Van made a few of those adjustments that you need to. Gets the win, does what he has to do, gets that win, and then Floyd Van in the finals. Had a little bit of controversy, right? But
I mean,
it happens.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the stall call was deserved.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, it stinks. No one wants to see it final end that way. And I'm sure, just from what I heard, that Carson doesn't want it to be that way, right? But it was in my opinion, it was a valid stall call. Right?
And it's tough because people say, well, you can't make that call in the state finals. You got to take that out.
Yeah, you got to take that out. You got to take out where it is on the mat, how much time's left. If it's stalling, it's stalling.
Yeah, stalling is stalling. You got to call it. we do hate to see it go out that way. But, one thing that I have said is, Floyd did push the pace in that match. Floyd did attack. Floyd was the one stepping forward a lot. And I would say that Floyd was stepping forward even more. And so his ability to put that pressure on caused that stall call. Yeah. Right? It wasn't just given to him. He caused that stall call with his pressure and his attacks. So Carson Floyd.
And it's not like Van was wrestling terribly.
No, it was a great match.
It was a great match.
It was a great match.
It was a fun. Yeah. I had fun watching it too. So
it lived up to the hype for me. You gotta love seeing Carson come up. We talked to him. He will be at high school nationals. What he told us. We're gonna have to wait and see which way he goes to. But Carson wraps up an amazing career in North Carolina. So does Ryland Van. Right, Ryland Van going to play football for NC State. Good luck to you. Can't wait to
maybe I'll actually tune into some NC State football.
Maybe you'll get Ryan watching football. But you got a fan in us,
Yeah, great kid too. We talked to him after his quarter. After we were kind of walking back. His was the last one we caught highlight wise, and kind of walked back to get ready.
Great kid. I mean, after that match, I think Kerry's coach is kind of arguing that stall call a little bit, and awesome moment of Van.
Yeah, raises great sportsmanship, right?
Floyd's arm and says, "Hey," and was walking off and said, it happens, and he's ready to bounce. Just these guys wrestled great, awesome match. Congrats to you, Carson. Can't wait to see where you end up in college. I think that's my biggest question now after the state tournament. Where's Carson Floyd
not just
going?
Him, but
where's Marcus Jackson going?
Where's Jacob Cox going?
There's a lot of questions here.
I want to know. And I didn't ask them there because I wanted them to focus on what their job was. But feel free to reach out to us and let us know where you're going. We won't say anything.
Right. Unless you want us to. If you want us to announce it or you want to do something with us,
any of that jazz.
Whatever.
But
106 1A.
Going down to the bottom, right? We're going the same order as files. Alex Panama, neither of us picked him going in, right? We were kind of leaned another way. That didn't work out for us. But Panama just was straight up better in every position. He looked really good. Him coming down to 106, maybe one of the most genius moves by the Robbinsville staff of the season. Because he went from a guy that was going to maybe place at the other weights to winning it handily. Yep. And then going up to 2A 106, man, this kid, we didn't pick him to begin with. We didn't pick him in our final show. Maybe you did. We picked Jared Thomas.
I picked Jared Thomas.
And Vang from Bunker Hill, Lawson Vang, had my favorite clip that I got where he came over behind the media and one of their coaches were there, a hug, and then came up right in the camera and said, "Let's do this." I loved it. It was hype. But he looked so good. I was very impressed by him. Caps his career off state champ.
Yeah. And the birth of another great career, right? We talked a little bit about how the state tournament, we see all these amazing careers end, right? We see Monteperto go off and right off in the sunset. We see Levi Andrews and Carson Floyd and
Jacob Cox, et cetera,
so on and so forth. But we also get to see who's next.
Yeah.
Who's the new guy now?
Who's the new era, right?
Who's the new era? And I think that Jared Thomas is one of those guys. Just dominates.
Looks good.
Vang wrestled a perfect match in the finals. He really did. Came out, wrestled great, and but I do think that Thomas is a guy to keep our eyes on next year and moving forward. I think he could be one of our guys. So going up to 3A 106.
What a match.
Cape Fear again.
Yes.
Right? Samuel Aponte wrestles Kane Bryson from Pisgah. Aponte, another one of those guys that he's one of our guys now, right? Like he's just a sophomore. Right, like he has proven himself. This tournament, him and Kyle Simpson, I would say, from Parkwood, really coming out and saying like, hey, like we're here. Yeah. We're the new era, right? I think.
Them plus Kane Bryson.
And Kane Bryson. Of course, being freshman in the state finals.
What a match it was, though. That was wild.
Awesome match. Aponte wrestles, just pulls it out, does what he has to do, gets it 11-9, gets the win there.
That exchange at the end where Bryson kind of went, I think he was kind of like a duck. I'm not 100% sure because I kind of got it. I was watching one of the other matches and came over to it, and he was kind of in that like kind of that cow catcher type position, right?
Yeah.
And Aponte kind of hips in, and you thought for a second Bryson might go to his back, and then he recovers and puts Aponte on his back, and it was a wild. It probably was one of my favorite matches of the whole tournament, just because it was so back and forth. You didn't really know who was going to win. It was fun. It was super fun.
A lot of fun. So going up to 4A 106 was one of the best finals matches.
This is one that
on paper
caught me by surprise a little bit.
And on paper, this was one that
I didn't hesitate. Pick. I did not hesitate
we
one
bit. We
went
with Jackson Rowling all year,
and Noah Caldwell said, "No, sir."
Noah Caldwell said, "Y'all are sleeping on me."
He said,
Caldwell a junior this year, Jackson a freshman. Jackson Rowling really one of those super freshmen in our state.
Yeah.
But Caldwell comes out, controls the match
as he did all weekend.
Wrestles
right?
Perfect. Yeah.
I thought his whole road. He just looked
fall 7-2 over Watt from Wake Forest, who is a guy that we definitely need to be looking out for in the future. Another freshman.
It's Connor Hibbard is his 7-2 win there.
Sorry, I apologize. The 12-0 win over Watt in the
semis
in the semis, but Watt does come back
as a freshman.
Freshman takes fourth. Falls to Yoakum from Ragsdale,
who's just a sophomore.
106 always one of those weights.
See a lot of young.
Yeah, see a lot of young. I don't even know if there was a senior in this bracket this year. But anyways. Cobble comes out just like he did all weekend, controls the pace, wrestles his style,
and gets a title for Piedmont. Bring one. They brought one
and win one.
That was pretty sweet. And
gotta love it.
Even though we didn't pick him, it was awesome to see because I know he works super hard.
Yeah.
And then so we're going. And 113 coming to 1A. This man right here. Now this is a cool story. I didn't know this until a couple hours ago. Ben Jordan. And he skipped a grade. So he really could be a freshman right now.
Wow.
So he skipped a grade. So he really, in his 8th grade season, was a state runner-up last year.
Wow.
Right? So he skipped a grade and was able to come in high school early, runner-up anyway, as a freshman last year, and it gets the job done. You talked about how the coaches at Avery call him Mr. Consistency, and he proved that in the finals with a good 6-0 win, looked really dominant. It wasn't even close. There was never a moment where it was in question.
So Gayon wrestled really great, though, from Allegheny. Wrestled awesome. And then Brandon Jordan from URA Charter, really got moving on that backside. Wrestled awesome, a freshman there, young bracket again, right? We see that a lot with these lower weights, but state champ sophomore, state finalist sophomore.
Yep.
3rd place freshman. So we got a lot of the new era here, like we talked about.
Yeah, and man, he was one of the heavier favorites, I think, coming in.
Right.
But he looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's one of Avery's. I mean, I got a bunch of them, right? Hammers, right?
Yeah.
But I think he might be the leader,
the guy.
Then 113 at 2A. We talked about it coming to the state tournament. We talked about it coming to regionals. These are Central boys.
Yeah.
Know how to turn it up when it's the time.
What an awesome story.
And what an awesome story this one is.
Yeah.
As Sumter Horton gets the job done, wins a state title with a fall over Riley Shaw. Great story. One
that we didn't pick, but super glad.
You picked him going in the finals in the pre-show.
Yeah,
I remember that. And I went Riley Shaw. But whether I won that pick or not, I'm really glad knowing his background, his story. And,
which we don't want to get into it too much.
No, yeah, that's his business.
Yeah, but one that we were cheering for. We love that RA Central program.
Coach Cox
does it. Another one of those guys that does it the right way.
You can tell how much he cares about his kids.
Right, awesome human. If you ever get the chance to talk to him, go talk to him. But just what a bracket. I mean, Pittman, Allman, Shaw, Horton, May.
It was a good one, for sure.
Awesome. And then another shout out here to Trent Allman, senior, fighting back, taking 3rd. Just big stuff there. So going up to 3A 113 here.
Mm-hmm. One
we
of our
had
most,
probably would you say the finals match of 3A?
It was maybe our equally most anticipated.
Yeah.
Right? You and I were both very amped for this one. It lived up.
Charlie Sly, Stuart Kramer, absolute hammer.
Yep.
Versus super freshman Carter Floyd. Both these guys, the new era of our state, right? And we're not done seeing these guys, I don't think.
Both dark horse
seeing
kids,
them wrestle,
by the way.
Both dark horse kids.
Dark horse had quite the night.
Man, I think they had 18 finalists. I think was the number that I got sent. Super impressive, y'all. If you're not in a club, go find one. We're gonna bring some stuff this summer. But if you are not in a club,
and it doesn't have to be dark horse or combat. It can be any club, but
numbers don't lie. It's just go find a club, wrestle this offseason, keep competing is my biggest thing. But Charlie Sly, man, Tech Fall 17-0, Tech Fall 16-1, Major 13-3, and then wins 3-1 in the finals. Ford dominates as well. Floyd from Ford dominates, goes Fall, Tech Fall, Major, and then him and Charlie. I assume they wrestle in the dark horse room a lot, so I assume that they're pretty familiar with each other. They also
it didn't stop them from getting exchanges though.
No,
even though the score says 3-1, but I feel like it was like
and Charlie just
very fun.
I think that I want to say that experience here. And being, wrestling at the state tournament before, it may not have been a Greensboro, but, being a state qualifier, I think that really helped Charlie.
Yeah.
Right? I think that he just kind of, and having both guys coming from great teams right now. I mean, Stuart Kramer with the Courageous Brothers, Monsters, we're going to talk about them in a little while. But, Carter Floyd coming from Ford, which,
it's Ford.
This year. Amazing match. Charlie Sly really pulls it out. I can't wait to see the future of these two. I can't wait to see where Charlie Sly is going to end up. I think he is emerging as one of the top uncommitted guys in the state, and this state title solidifies it, right?
I think his style translates really well in that level too.
I think so too. I think he's going to transition phenomenally. Really hope that we get to see Sly and Floyd both go and wrestle at high school nationals, and please go wrestle some freestyle this offseason. I can't say it enough. We're going to be pushing this all summer. Okay, go wrestle, go to high school nationals, go compete, try and go to Fargo.
100%.
Yeah, but so congrats to you, Charlie Sly. Congrats to you, Carter Floyd. Floyd, an amazing freshman season, one of the most dominant freshmen we have in the state, I think, right
100%.
now. Sly still proving that he is in the top tier, and that I shouldn't doubt him anymore.
Yes. yeah. That's funny.
So 4A113 came with an amazing matchup, and super sophomore Cam Stenson here, right? Absolute monster. 46-0 coming into the state
Hasn't
tournament.
lost a high school match yet.
Has not lost a high school match. We need to knock on wood. I don't have any around.
We don't need to knock on wood for that kid.
Versus Cooper Davis from Cox Mill, who is one of those guys that just also a sophomore.
Very good.
Very, very good.
Kind of jumped levels coming in as well. Having the road he had, impressive to get to the finals, and the way he did too.
Knocking off
Joey
Baisley
and
knocking off
Liam
Hickey from Cardinal Gibbons, but just runs into a buzzsaw on Cam Stenson. I think they're both dark horse kids, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so as well.
And I'd like to know how many state finals matchups dark horse kids had head-to-head. It's super impressive.
Few for sure.
I know Combat had a good showing. I know the Raw had a really good showing at the state tournament. And just super impressive. A lot of fun, though. A lot of fun in that match. Stenson just controlled it, I think. He just,
he controlled the match.
The score is 6-2, but I don't think that Davis got dominated. But I think that Stenson just showed that he is on his own level, of why we're considering him. Like, hey, is he the better one, or is Cage the better
Who's the
sophomore?
best?
Who's the best sophomore?
What a cool
here?
story in this bracket, though, is Travers from Jack Britt goes from 16 seed at regionals to regional champ, but then also to blood round at the state tournament, right?
Falls one short.
His two losses were to Brusino of Southeast Guilford in the blood round, who placed 5th, and then he also lost to Eli Pendergrass, who got 4th. So he only lost to the people who got 4th.
I mean, again, what a bracket on this one as well.
This one was small, right? So like much fun.
I mean, you've got Hickey, you've got Davis, you've got Baisley, you got Travers, you got Pendergrass, you got Stinson, you got Brusino from Southeast Guilford. Awesome bracket. Shout out to you, Cam Stinson, proving again that you are just on your own level. 4A 113 state champ. Super impressive.
And then 120 came up to the match, right? And Tristan Hale goes for a second state title, gets it done.
Monster.
Controlled match over a guy. We've been talking a little bit about hot hands, right?
Yeah.
Momentum matters. Yeah, momentum matters, especially in tournaments. You get rolling, you start building that confidence.
Especially in Greensboro.
Yeah, and Rosman wrestled as a team. They wrestled out of their mind. Like, they were just wrestling so good.
Yes.
And Brandon Rupp did his thing, winning 4-0 in the first round, getting the fall over Pritz in the semis, which he lost to Pritz about 3 times this year, and then just ran into Hale, one of the guys who's just a step above,
Buzzsaw. Right? Yeah, just
step
a monster.
Above. Looked really good.
I think that Hale proves that he belongs in that category of
dominant guys in the state, right?
Yeah, of dominant guys in the state, of guys on their own level, right? Ends out his high school career with the state title here.
And then R.J. James, one of my favorite guys to watch in the state. He is a highlight reel on his feet. Every match he had, I was like, I got to go watch this kid. I got to try to get highlight clips of him because he's
going to give you
so slick on his feet, so much fun. Going to give us the clips that we're kind of looking for. He goes very dominant in the finals. Yep. Major decision, 9-1, never looked challenged really.
Right.
So good. I think his style
avenges a loss in the semis
to Bodie Kirkland. That was a big one.
Big win.
He's a guy I really want to see wrestle freestyle because I think his style
it translates so well. I agree. And Hernandez puts together an impressive tournament as well. Another one. Big shout out to Camden Spencer falling in the semis, wrestling back, taking 3rd there. I just can't get over end your season on a win, right?
Yeah. It's hard to do.
If you fall, do the best you can to. If you fall in the semis, do your best to
only 3 kids per year get to really do that.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
The 1st place finisher, 3rd place finisher, 5th place finisher, and so it's pretty hard.
So 3A 120 might have been one of the loaded brackets.
It was loaded. We had 2 state champs. Yeah. We didn't get that match. Mejia did come back for 3rd.
Yes.
Right. And Landreth, who lost to Baglio in the quarters, came back for 4th. So we did get that rematch of the regional finals for 3rd, 4th. I said it a year ago, right? And that after Baglio lost to Decatur the way he did his freshman year in the semifinals,
right?
I thought coming into last year that Jackson Baglio was going to go from, hey, I'm a really good guy into the state, to I am that dude.
Yeah,
he is that guy.
Yes.
He is one of the stick the flag in the flag post. This is our North Carolina kid, one of our best kids we got.
Yeah.
We're gonna see him just continue to be just that dominant force.
Go to high school nationals. Go to.
Oh yeah, and he has. He won sophomore nationals last year, so I'm sure he's looking to go to defending his title.
Yeah. Can't wait to see it.
But
huge tournament by Washawn though.
Yeah, to be able to beat Mejia in the quarters was massive.
From Connor Washawn, yeah. Big upset there. Ends his career as state finals there. Super impressive. 4A 120.
Luna, man.
A lot of fun. Lot of fun. What a bracket. So we had Noah Luna. We had Ian Fritz, one of the top freshmen in the state.
One of my favorites.
Noah Murray. We had Trevor Freeman, one of the best sophomores we have in the state. And we had Matt Rowland from Pinecrest here. Yeah,
Pinecrest shirt on Rhett Hoy today. Yep. Do you notice that, Pinecrest crew?
There it is.
Wearing it up for you guys.
So Luna just has an amazing run, and I think he was a guy that just got top work. I think he was a guy that got hot, stayed hot, kept up momentum going, and looked super impressive.
I think this was Jason Fulmer's most anticipated final.
Yeah.
Because he knows how good Luna and Roland are.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Jason Fulmer said that these are two of the top 120s in the Southeast.
Yeah, he said not just North Carolina. He thinks these are two top 120s in the Southeast. He really likes both guys.
Yeah.
Luna just it was that turn.
Yeah.
That was that turn on the edge, and I think it was the second period, right?
So I think so, if I'm not mistaken. But gets those swipes and
that was the difference.
Super impressive run by Ian Fritz. To go fall and then 16-second fall and then sudden victory with the state champ. Super impressive from the freshman there. I'm really excited to see what he continues to do. Trevor Freeman ends up taking third here. Sophomore. This bracket is loaded with
talent. Young
talent and the future of our state here. So let's get on to 1A 126 here.
Now, Rhett and I kind of not had an argument, but I was trying to make the case for this man. Yep. Right? I know Levi Andrews won his 4th title, and I think he was very deserving of the MOW. But this man right here, look what he did. Grant Reese beats 2 state champs back to back. Back to back. He goes a 13-10 decision, but it was not that close over Logan Torchel. Okay? And then he pulls the upset of the 1A finals and beats Jaden Now, who now had dominated him the week before. Yeah. And Reese made all the adjustments. Man, he looked great. There was a part where I thought maybe it was going to unravel, and now was going to kind of build back in the match. There was a single out right on the edge, right towards the media side. Now I got the 2, and I was like, all right. He's gonna start pouring on a little bit, and Reese stayed calm, cool. He got a single of his own, put him on his back, scored the 8-4 decision. I know Levi Andrews won his 4th, and I think he deserves the MOW because of that, probably. But Grant Reese, 2 state champs back to back. You don't see that very often.
That's tough. I would agree that if you didn't have a 4-timer in this classification, he probably gets MOW. But I think it's just tough not to give an MOW.
Yeah, that was your point, right? My point was,
I'm
but
sorry.
Look what he did.
I know. And I think in any other classification, maybe besides 3A, I think that run could get you MOW or any other year.
Yeah.
But this year with Levi Andrews doing what he did, making history, kind of double making history of becoming the 10th and also becoming the heaviest.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's two things.
I wasn't mad at it.
No, right. Not taking anything away from Levi. But let's go up to a
thing too. Avery came to wrestle in the final. They came to wrestle a whole tournament. Yes, they are good, but they were ready.
Avery came to prove a point.
They were ready. They were on fire on Friday when they got there that first round, and then in the finals they looked. They made all the adjustments necessary. Right. Just really impressed with that. And their 2 state runner-up freshmen from a year ago captured titles here.
Yeah.
2A 120 or 126. Excuse me. David McGeetron over Norman from West Lincoln. Norman, big win in the quarters over state champ Tyler Holland, and continues to stay hot in a big fall in the semis. And then McGeetron just did the thing, man. He was a state runner-up last year as a freshman. He gets the big fall. Mount Pleasant crowd was fired up for their dude. Just a sophomore, state champ. Another dark horse kid, by the way.
Yeah, another dark horse kid. So moving up to history being made, 3A 126. Like we talked about earlier, pins and needles the entire finals, right? Coach Jacobus put out a post. His job was to keep Kyle Monteperto healthy, right? He said that was his job. That he felt like his main goal was that Kyle's one of those guys that he's going to take care of himself. He's going to make sure he's ready to wrestle. He's going to put the extra work and everything else. He just had to keep him healthy. And the worst case scenario popped up, right? I mean,
his lip was
a lot of people thought it was his nose. So his nose did get busted up.
Yeah. But
his lip was split in half.
It was
pretty
like
graphic. I was right there for it. I saw it the whole time. Shout out to the medical staff at the Greensboro Coliseum. They had the goal of, we're not going to let this kid lose his fourth state title. You know, they were pretty locked in.
You don't want any.
No,
if
you don't.
If you lose a match, you lose a match. But to lose it on blood time would be any kid, not just any kid,
especially to lose your fourth state title.
But hey, shout out to him.
Yes,
he kept his calm composure
and still dominated.
Had to do what he had to do.
The biggest thing that I absolutely loved from his finals match was his coach telling him, take top, save your face.
Yeah, I heard it.
Take top, save your face. And he's like, no, I want neutral.
Yeah, he wanted to dominate.
He wanted to put on a show.
Go. He's like,
he
I want to go.
put on a show. And in the corner, coach is like, no, top, take neutral.
And Montpelier's like, yeah.
And Montpelier just, says, all right, I'm going to get the job done. Super nice kid.
Yeah, great kid. I'm really going to miss watching him wrestle.
Yes. But we get to watch him at University of Virginia. We wish he was staying in the state for selfish reasons.
I think that's a great
fit for him. I agree. Academically,
with Coach Garland, academically, they have success.
Yes.
I think it's a really good fit. Like seeing him at UVA, it's just. Man, it's going to be hard not to watch him in North Carolina anymore. Like in high school. Just going to miss that.
Shout out to Parker Gallagher from Statesville. Awesome run. We don't want you to think that you are being overshadowed. Yeah. I mean, it's just tough whenever
you have history.
You have history, in your finals. He did knock off Goronski from Swansboro in the semis. Big win there.
Yep.
A lot of people would say that's an upset. Has an impressive run to the finals, but just runs into the man, the myth, North Carolina history. One of the most dominant.
And speaking of domination, 4A 126.
Yes.
I mean,
4A 126, Mark Samuel from Laney knocks off Gundry from Cardinal Gibbons. And,
if I'm not mistaken, Samuel hasn't lost a match in 3 years since his state tournament his freshman year.
Except for
the DQ.
Yeah, the DQ.
Minus the DQ. Take that out.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost a match.
Yeah, super impressive run.
In 3 years.
Absolute dominance.
He's another one where I'm like, where is he going to school? I haven't seen it announced. I mean, I think his might have been, but I don't know where. But his style translates, I think, really well to this next level too.
I think so as well.
But I really loved watching him wrestle.
Yes.
I really did. I think he stays so calm, cool, composed. Does some things that really frustrate his opponents. So
I'm gonna steal 1A 132.
Yeah, do it, man.
Because we talked about Reese having a case for MOW.
This man.
I think that Aldo Hernandez has a claim to it as well. I know the beating two state champs to get your title does a lot, but going Tech Fall 16-1 Tech Fall, and then going 15-0 Tech Fall in the finals.
So good.
Super impressive.
He's so good.
I've been probably Aldo's one of Aldo's biggest fans.
You were in my ear
since
about
I saw
him
last year at the state tournament. I'm pretty sure I called you on the way home from the state tournament and told you about Aldo Hernandez last year from the 3A state tournament. Comes to URE Charter and dominates going in. Wins that title. Bryson Church from Allegheny ends his career state finalist. Awesome run. Congratulations to you.
And 132 at 2A, row the boat for Bandies. They get a state champ here.
Hold on. I need to hear something.
You were right. Is that what you need to hear?
Yes.
You were right. This was a head-to-head.
Not to say that. You can say that a lot to me.
No, I think numbers-wise, I was able to go back and look at the pre-state tournament, before the state tournament show ever started, or before the state tournament ever started, and I got more champs right on that one than you did. But I haven't gone back and listened. But the pre-finals show, just going off gut, I think you beat me by a good bit on that one. And this is one that you did, right? It was our finals champ picks going head to head, and it was a blast. This match was so much fun. Both guys went, there was no tentativeness. They went and wrestled, and Burkett looked great, man. He was so much fun. Sportsmanship award winner for the state duels. So that was cool. Goodman, congratulations on a great career as well. I mean, I think, and maybe not the most accolade-heavy match, right?
Right.
Not the most accolade-heavy match.
But one of the most exciting, one of the most fun.
One of the most exciting, fun matches that we had.
So, going up to 132, our boy gets it done again. Marcus Jackson from Central Cabarrus. wins a second state title.
What a career for him, too.
What a career.
This senior class across our state, what a career.
Marcus, where you going, man?
Yeah.
That's my biggest question. My two biggest questions leaving the state tournament is where's Carson Floyd going and where's Marcus Jackson going? And please do we have a North Carolina program that can keep them in our state?
I mean, to me, Jacob Cox is the number one uncommitted guy, unless he's committed somewhere. And I missed
you're
it.
right. Yeah,
and I wasn't gonna like I said, I wasn't gonna ask these questions to them in the state tournament. I want them to enjoy their moment and figure out what they're doing. And I'm not a very nosy person. I'm not gonna jut up in your business most time.
If you want to let us know, if you
ever want to let me know,
if you want
can
to
say
announce
it.
With us or anything, we'll figure something.
But we're not
out.
going to be up in your business.
Yeah, we're here to promote. You guys. That's
Marcus Jackson, we've talked about it several times.
Yeah,
this kid's he's really good right now.
Yes,
but his potential is.
Ceiling is so high.
So high. He can be very, very good.
Ceiling of any senior coming out this year.
It might. And his career 2-1 state qualifier with the Russell Beck situation.
The biggest travesty of.
And then state champ.
Yes.
So 3-time state finals, 2-time champ.
Yep. Amazing run by Elijah Harris, topping off a really impressive.
Part of that amazing Cata senior class.
Yep. Courageous, storming back, taking third here. Jackson. Really having a great tournament, knocking off Courageous and then knocking off Harris in the finals. Big time. Yeah. Marcus Jackson, you're the man. We love you. 4A 132, one of the most loaded.
It was the best.
It was probably the best bracket of the state
best bracket of the state tournament.
I agree.
So many close matches for all the guys. They were all. This is what makes it the best bracket, guys. Jaden Harrison from Laney, DMP.
Yep.
Right? He did not place.
Yep.
He did not place, and he is very good. Also, Will Gibson, Northwest Guilford, DMP.
Yep.
Did not place. Very good. Super stud freshman Colt Campbell from Hickory Ridge, DMP. Did not place. Those three guys, you put them in another bracket, they
win it.
They could legitimately win another bracket, right? We replay this bracket next week, right? They could win the bracket. It's that good. So, but headed to the final. Speaking of the guy who did win it, this is another one of our head-to-head matchups. This time it went my way. I picked Eli Murray. He gets the job done. What a tournament he had. He wrestled. Just like Brant
lights
did.
Out in the finals.
Lights out in the finals. Looks amazing.
Lights out. It was just he did what he had to do. Wrestled a perfect game plan. I think him and Josh Stanley and the coaching staff there put together a perfect game plan. And I think that I just think that Brant couldn't get to his offense in that match.
Yeah.
And that was the decision maker there. It's just
Murray, just a sophomore. Looking really good. Brant having an amazing career, right?
Riley Merchant.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that's what I missed. Riley Merchant didn't place either, guys. What a bracket. If those four guys did not place, this bracket
you put those guys in any other bracket, I really think. I think all six guys that placed here could be state champs.
Just if you re-wrestle.
Next week.
Yeah, if you re-wrestle. It's that close.
I said it multiple times that this bracket was one that if you put these guys, you wrestle this bracket 20 times, you're going to get a different state champ each time. I mean it. Picking that bracket was like putting all the names in a hat and just go. And just go with one, and you had just the same chances.
Brant's having such a great career. Runner-up as a freshman, state champ last year as a sophomore, and then runner-up again. So we'll see him again next year. We'll get another year of facing him.
Yeah, can't wait. I love watching Faith.
You're a big fan of him.
I'm a big fan of.
Speaking of great careers,
and that buff program.
Speaking of great careers, though, Ethan Shell, 138, 1A. He goes fall in 49 seconds in the finals. He only gets outdone by Cage slightly. He goes has two falls in a minute, and then his semis took a little longer. Held on a little more.
Made him work a little
harder. But Ethan Shell goes 2-1-1-1. Him and Levi Andrews, just two 4-time state finalists. Andrews winning that title as a freshman, where Shell had to take a runner up there. Another historic career. Going to App, go Mountaineers. Just congratulations, Ethan Shell, on what is a phenomenal career.
Right.
And then going from a guy who had immediate success as a freshman to a guy who was really good as a freshman, but had to chip away.
Yep.
And finally got to the top of the podium where we all knew as a freshman he was going to have that potential. David Jacobson gets the job done with a huge major in the finals. He was one of the more dominant guys with 2 majors or 3 majors in a fall in his way. So Jacobson never really looked challenged. I could tell right after the match he was fired up, but I think there also was like, man, this kid, we knew how good he could be, and he's realizing that potential. Another kid, another great senior where we're like, what a career. What a career.
And Will Nix there, junior in the finals from Bandy's. We'll see him again next year.
Yeah. Way too early team race thoughts already, you know, like Bandy's bringing back some hammers. We'll see what's going to happen.
So, all right, up to 3A 138, one of the most dominant guys in the whole tournament, one of the best guys in our state. And like you just said, if we haven't missed it, the biggest uncommitted name in the state.
100%.
And we might have missed it, and that might have just been from us, run all over the place, or just maybe
just didn't see
slipped right by. If we have, sorry, please let us know. I know everyone will.
Oh yeah.
But it's super impressive. Knocks off Noah Tokubin. I mean, here's the thing. Cox's run was super impressive. Jacob Cox from South Rowan, and a super impressive run to win his 3rd state title. Knocks off Noah Tokubin with a tech fall 17-1, and then goes up and beats Xander Hill 16. Cox had a tech fall 16-1 against Kenneth Hasman from Dixon, and then goes 9-1 major over Tokubin. Tokubin had the tech fall in the first round. Sorry, so Cox goes 9-1 in the quarters, majors, and then beats Xander Hill 16-6. And then majors again 13-4. So bonuses his way to his 3rd state title.
So Cox bonused the 3rd place finisher, the 5th place finisher, and the 2nd place finisher.
Yep.
Bonus them.
Monster.
And hasn't lost a match in 2 years.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the only matches he lost as a sophomore when he won his 1st state title were to Richard Traynor.
Right, which is...
and then he took 3rd as a freshman. So another senior, amazing career. So good. He had a win over Marcus Jackson this year. Yeah. So
super impressive. Absolute monster. Another one of those dark horse kids that we keep on talking about.
Yeah.
Hammers.
Dark horse had, like I said, had a really great night.
They did. And on the other side, on his bracket, was Bray Tribbett from North Iredell, which is super
kind of a
freshman.
tale of 2 stories, right?
Yeah.
We had the freshman versus the senior.
Right, and the tale of 2 different styles, right? Mm-hmm. Super impressive. Cox dominated the match, and excited for us to find out where he's going to end up if he hasn't already announced it. So 4A 138, Tyler Tracy is that guy.
Yeah, gets it done, right?
Guy.
Had to be a lot of pressure mounting for him.
From Raw Wrestling, an absolute monster.
Yep, Cardinal Gibbons guy.
Yep.
2-time state runner-up going into this. Makes the finals for the 3rd
and
year.
And super impressive.
Avery Bonacore looked amazing.
Yeah, but Tyler Tracy, super impressive run, knocking off Pemberton, knocking off Sokolsky from Mooresville, and then knocking off Avery Bonacore from Laney.
Bonacore went up early, right? And there had to be a little bit of
panic.
Just a little bit of doubt. He'd been there twice, hadn't gone his way twice, but he
stayed calm,
battled
cool,
back,
chipped away,
and looked what I thought like the better wrestler on their feet. Bonacore had a super impressive tournament though, so come away super impressed with him.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Tyler Tracy, finally getting up there on the podium. A junior, cannot wait to see him again next year.
Yes.
Hopefully,
a lot of underclassmen.
Hopefully, being from that Raw Wrestling Club, we see him at High School Nationals and we see him at Fargo.
Yeah, keeping it going with 145 at 1A. Finally, at 1A, we had a final where I was like, I don't really know which way it's going to go. Now, some of the weights went opposite way of what I thought, but this one I was like, I don't know. Garcia from South Stanley gets it done over Jonathan Cable from Avery with the big fall. Garcia just a junior, so he's going to return. Cable finishes off his career as a state runner-up. Garcia looked really good. They had a couple really fun exchanges. And then at 2A 145,
talk about the emerging of
Jacob Price.
Yeah.
Right? He was. I'm be honest. Last year the state tournament didn't have the tournament he wanted. Right? And I think there's a couple reasons for that. But he comes out, dominates his way to it, and dominates the final. It wasn't very close. Johnson White had a great tournament.
It was almost like the Price brothers were trying to see who could have more of an impressive tournament this year.
They were kind of competing against each other a little bit, for sure.
Right. So 3A 145. Zach Courageous gets the job done. Looks dominant. Looks super impressive. Dirty blast double in the finals.
Was so sick. It was so sick.
Dirty.
Carey was like really in good position and stayed low, and Courageous just went drop level, bam, straight through.
Jordan Burroughs-esque. I mean, just super impressive. We've known he was a monster on his feet. Another dark horse guy. Yeah. We've known that he was so good. What separated
him and Carey was what I thought would.
On their feet.
Yeah, on their feet, right? Yeah. And we know Brock.
And that Carey didn't get to go top.
Yeah, Carey, he didn't get his chance on top, right? Which was how he was.
Which is how you wanted to wrestle him if you're courageous.
Yeah, it was 100%. And we know, listen, Brock Carey had the iron will. Yeah. Like, this kid must have the willpower.
We won't talk about his injuries,
but
we were, Coach Ford, Coach Carey, he kind of told us about him.
I think everybody
talk about him on air,
but you could see, right? Y'all watched
the heart of a champion
to be able just to get to that point. But I knew, even going into that, I knew Courageous's movement on his feet was going to make the difference, and it did.
It did. All right, so going up to 4A 145, Jacob Woodburn from Page gets it done. He finds the top of the
What a headlock on the edge, right? Good night. The whole crowd loved that match.
It's one of your favorite ones. It's the one that
the whole crowd went.
Yeah, you wait for it, and you just wait for that, just that big pop.
Yep.
And we got it. Knocks off Merriman, who Merriman had one of the most impressive runs to the finals, right?
Yeah.
43-second fall, 17-2 tech fall, 17-1 tech fall over Noah Thomas from Laney. But Woodburn coming out, wrestling his perfect match. I mean, I really don't think he could have wrestled Merriman any better. Shut down Merriman and dominated. Jacob Woodburn, congratulations. It's great to see. It's great to see him find the top of the podium.
And another senior with a great career. Yes. Travesty kind of a wrestlebacks last year goes second, third, state qualifier, champ, right?
Yep.
And 1A 152, speaking of runner-ups winning titles, Tristan Adams, a runner-up a year ago to Counter Medbar, gets it done in a 5-3 decision where he really didn't look like... It didn't look like he was ever going to lose the match. He just looked in control the entire time, even though Miller from Cherryville was the person who beat him last weekend.
But Adams' really impressive run, knocking off Franklin Bennett from Mount Airy.
Another win over him.
Yeah, another win over him, and then knocking off Miller there.
And Adams is just a junior, so he'll be back for Avery.
Yeah.
Next year.
Return another stud. Yep. Let's go up to 152. I would think that so go ahead.
Jason Fulmore said this is the best kid in the building.
Yeah,
that's his thoughts.
Hope he doesn't mind us saying that.
Yeah, no, he said it on the pre-show. He said he said on the pre-show. I said Kyle Monteperto was the best kid in the building, followed very closely by Jeremiah Price. Those two, and Jeremiah did the thing, right? I mean, what else? What else can you say?
10-second fall. I think that's the quickest fall in the state tournament this year.
The crazy thing about him is I don't feel like he really even got to show off in the state finals.
No.
Any of the technique that makes him even...
And won 26-9.
Yeah. Like, he never got to really show off he has a crazy good single.
Yeah.
He has a crazy good wing bar series. Yeah. He's great with boots into that, too. He didn't really get to show it all off because his hands were so heavy that he was snapping... snapping Patton to his face all the time.
He just breaks people. Bo Patton had a great run. Patton there had a great run, but just like we said before, sometimes you sometimes you run into a buzzsaw, and that's just what happened. Jeremiah Price with one of the most impressive runs of the state tournament. So 3A 152.
Yep.
My boy Grayson Harris from Inca makes it to the finals. Across from him is Callan Staub from Cape Fear, a guy that I don't think we slept on. I did pick Harris.
We picked Staub at the Holy Angels, so we definitely weren't sleeping.
Right. I picked Grayson. Caught some flack from the Cape Fear people, which I love it.
We love that.
Yeah,
bring it.
I never take it personal. I love it.
No, we just appreciate you guys listening to give us flack. So that's fine with us.
And so Harris really stopped, just wrestled great. He shut down Grayson's offense. Just wrestled phenomenal.
Lights out.
Lights out. Super impressive.
Control it from
I really want to know where he's going to end up at.
Yeah.
If he's going to wrestle in college, I think he's another guy in our state that has a lot of upside. So going up to 4A 152, we have one of the most anticipated matchups here as well.
Yeah.
Between Davis Freeze from Mooresville and Drew Pepin. Had to make sure I had the right Pepin here. I was, I mixed them up. But no, and I think Drew's kind of making that case of, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy. Knocks off Jackson Buck, or knocks off Ogden, knocks off Jackson Buck, and then knocks off Davis Freeze, and wrestles 6'2", and wrestles a phenomenal finals.
Man, I was excited about this one just because they wrestled the Tiger. They wrestled last year in the state quarters. They wrestled in the regional finals, and Pepin got the better of 2 out of 3 of those. They've wrestled at Combat. They're both Combat kids. And I saw that on their one of the live streams that Josh Stanley had for the Combat kids, for one of their off-season events or whatever. And all of them have been fun, right? They're not standing there looking at each other. They go for it.
They go for it.
They go for it.
Scrap.
And this one lived up to that too. They went, they scrapped, they had fun. They got it done. Pepin now a state champ, runner-up last year.
Yep.
Davis Freeze, 2-time runner-up now, going runner-up, state qualifier runner-up, year to go.
Yep.
So
both of them year to go.
Yep.
Both of them back.
Maybe another. I kind of hope they end up the same way again because every time they wrestle, I enjoy watching.
Yeah. So let's go up to 1A 160. We've got 2 more weights here to go. We're going to try and roll through these. And
speaking of impressive, though, Grayson Roberts, I said it on the pre-show. He was the guy I walked out of the building at state duels, and I was like, that kid is good. That kid's way better than I anticipated him being.
Right.
And he showed it off here. Right. Huge. Now he had a little bit of a scare in the finals and in one exchange.
Right.
But stayed calm, cool, collected, and let that scramblability and top work do its thing.
Yes.
And then at 2A 160, row that boat. Another man.
I'm not too good at it. I got one, but
right.
I'm doing circles over here.
But another man that we talked about, he was the man on fire since the state tournament last year. Man on fire. And look, Braden Guest made it close.
He did. And Caleb Moore.
Right out in the third period.
Right out. Monster ride.
Yes.
That's one that a college coach has to be looking at and going, that's going to translate pretty well.
Right. He translates very well.
But goes Tech Fall 17-0. Caleb Moore,
state champ.
I would say the leader of that Bandy's team.
Yes.
Ends it with a state title there. Brings it back to
2 state champs for Bandy's there.
2 state champs there. So 3A 160. This one was a lot of fun, right? So we had Aiden Curry finishing his illustrious career, right?
Yeah, 4-time finalist, 3-time champ.
4-time finalist, 3-time champ.
Had a class that we talked about.
Taking on Zane Burkett from Ford, a junior who is also a monster.
Yeah, so good. Right? Both guys really good with their head names.
Also a monster. And Curry just figures it out. Figures it out. Tight match.
I think the difference in this match was what we thought it was. You and I talked about it on air. It might have been off air. We were talking about it. Either way, we just chose Curry because we thought he had more ways to score. Yeah. He's going to give himself more opportunities than Burkett was going to give him. And that's kind of how it played out.
Yeah. So going up to 4A 160 here, we had Elijah Brown from AC Reynolds clawing his way, fighting his way to the finals here.
Yeah. doing Elijah Brown things, right? Sound, stay at home, win matches.
With that being said, Jaden Dobeck.
Wearing the Pinecrest shirt.
Pinecrest.
Yeah, wearing the Pinecrest shirt.
I doubted you. I'm going to come out on record before the state tournament. I doubted him. I'm not going to make that mistake ever again. I'm going to go ahead and say Jaden Dobeck wins the state title next year as well.
He's going next year. You're picking it already.
We can come back to this next year.
Hey,
right here,
listen.
Jaden Dobeck, if he goes 60, if he goes 70, two-time state champ.
Pinecrest people, man, look.
Okay.
We went from Rhett Hoy.
Because Jaden Dobeck showed me he is, I think, the most fundamentally sound wrestler we have in the state.
You think so?
And you throw in his ability to scramble.
That's me. I think he is the best.
He's so fundamentally sound, but then you add in his insane ability to scramble, and you get a 5-3 win, because Elijah Brown's one of those guys that he is fundamentally sound. He stays in great position. He dog fights, right? He gets in there. He hand fights tough. He picks up the hand fighting whenever he needs to. But Jaden Dobeck can do that too.
Yeah.
But he can force a scramble, and he can win that scramble. And that's why I say right now, a full year ahead of it, Jaden Dobeck's going to win another state title next year.
Now,
I think he's my
comment about Jaden
favorite.
Dobeck.
Yeah.
The reason why I think highly of him is because of what I said about Aiden Curry. Jaden Dobeck has very, very many ways to score.
Yes.
Like, he has a lot of ways he's going to score, which gives him multiple opportunities to win a lot of different types of matches. Number 2, Pinecrest faithful. Look how far we have come. We battled all year long about Rhett Hoy not giving you any love. Now, which a little bit of exaggeration on that, right? Like, he likes Pinecrest too. I like to give him a hard time, but now he's sitting here wearing a Pinecrest shirt,
making a way too early pick
for next year of a Pinecrest kid. Life has come full circle.
Let's go. Let's wrap this up. Let's start at 170.
170.
A monster ends his career in 1A.
2-time state champ.
Yep.
Connor Medvar, he looked phenomenal. Now, I said on the pre-show, there's going to be a time and point.
Yeah, you were worried. There was going to
be a time and point where I was going to be like, Doug Bull's about to lock up that cradle. It's going to be dangerous. And there was a point where Doug Bull's got that cradle locked up, and I was like, ooh, here we go. Here we go. What's going to happen?
No joke.
But Medvar, I don't think panicked like I did.
No.
Not that I was rooting for one kid or the other. I was like, oh man, what's about to happen?
Yeah.
That more of a reaction.
Right. Yeah, I caught myself like getting just excited about wrestling this weekend.
We
not
love
really
it.
like picking a side or
just
rooting or cheering for or rooting against or for anything. But I kind of caught myself, just sitting there, just being that was so much fun. So this is the first time that I've been back to the state tournament as basically a fan, like a member of the media. Like, we just got to be a fan of wrestling, a fan of the tournament.
Just good wrestling.
And it was so much fun.
But Medvar did the thing. I was going to say, Medvar closes out that career, does the job, gets it done, 2-time state champ.
He'd be real good.
He'd be good. And speaking of being real good, Kyler Pickard, Mount Pleasant, gets their second champ of the night. 7-0 decision. He's been one of the best guys all year. We talk about most improved wrestlers a lot, right? Damon Landreth is a guy that we've talked about from last year, this year. Jeremiah Price is another guy we talked about. Right. This is another one. He went from being right in the mix to being very dominant with wins over Gavin Hartzell, who's in the 82-pound state finals, win over Aiden Curry, 160 champ, right? He had all these elite wins, and he gets it done, gets a state championship for him in his senior season.
Yep. So going up to 3A 170, I don't think there was a more dominant finals performance. Ends out the night with the big backflip.
Yeah.
We didn't see many of those this year. I didn't see a lot of them.
No.
Saw a lot of gritties.
Rat had to explain to me what that was. I had no idea.
Ryan's an old man. We saw a lot of gritties. I probably have to give it to Cam Stinson and Marcus Jackson as a tied for best gritty.
Yeah, I still don't. Those are the only two I've ever seen.
No Cobble, best attempt at one. But
I didn't see his, but I don't know.
But anyways, Aiden McCaffrey goes to the old school cartwheel to the backflip, wins 16-0, absolute domination. kind of what we expected from him. And, man, just absolute monster. Ends out his career. Where's he going?
I am not sure.
Off the top of our head, we don't know.
At top of my head, I'm not sure.
He better be going somewhere.
He
better be staying in North Carolina.
He'd be good too, right? He's very good.
Finishing out the tournament here, 4A 170, a guy that we didn't really.
We talked about how good he was looking.
About how good,
but we still went against him.
And we still went against him. Man, really fast. Tomas Brooker beats Sam Grena. Awesome match there. Gives up the first takedown, chips his way back in, wins 6-2, finds himself in the finals. I still think Tomas Brooker is one of the guys that has the highest ceiling in our state, especially if the junior class has the highest ceiling of anyone in the junior class. But
Alex Hopper.
Let's talk about Crazy Train, Alex Hopper from Laney, junior from Laney as well.
Yeah.
So we could see Brooker, Hopper again here. Mm-hmm. Man, absolute monster. And the thing was they were both wrestling a really great match.
They were.
A lot of heavy hands, a lot of different level changes, things like that. And Alex Hopper figures it out, stuffs a shot, puts him on his back, gets the fall, goes insane. Incredible tournament though. But his most impressive match to me, Alex Hopper put together that state tournament that you're just like, whoa, oh my god, or like just oh my gosh, like this kid came ready to wrestle this week. He came ready to scrap. Him and Devin Bell, the story's been the top of the podium requires extra, and they put the extra in.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, coming out, wrestling, getting a 49-second fall, and then over Brady Robb from Mooresville.
Yeah, that tech fall.
That tech fall where he was just cut, takedown.
That was my indicator that he was feeling it.
That was, whenever I saw that one, I was like, okay. It was tough to not pick him. I think that
100%.
It just, Tomas's his ceiling so high that I thought that it was his time. It was Alex Hopper's time.
Yes.
It was his tournament. He wrestled phenomenally, knocking off also Alex Gunning from Chapel Hill.
Was a state runner-up here.
State runner-up, man, and knocking off him and that match was full of just upper body, just hand fighting, just scraps.
Hopper just looked amazing,
and then gets the fall, stuffs that takedown.
Impressive. It kind of was ironic in a way that a Laney kid capped off the tournament with a fall and not sealed because all the team races were. But it's
locked up.
And that's the way the 4A tournament ended, right? The most dominant team.
It started with a Laney fall from Devin Bell.
And ended with a Laney fall. So it kind of was just
Hopper.
like a...
Also, I want to say, Alex Hopper, one of like the coolest, calmest, collected kids I've ever seen before a state finals match. Like literally just watching him, he's back there singing, dancing, and just having fun. The definition of, I think, of go out and have fun. And man, talk about fun. This state tournament was amazing.
Blast.
Thank y'all so much. We can't begin to tell you how thankful we are for all the people that came up and said hey to us. All you guys that listen, all the kids that are still wrestling, the parents, people in the crowd. It's Carolina Takedown Talk, guys.
Or even just giving us a hard time about a pick that we got wrong or whatever.
Exactly. We love it.
We just appreciate all you guys listening.
We appreciate
the support.
you guys listening. We never thought so. This past Wednesday, we didn't really put anything out because we were getting ready for the state tournament. But this past Wednesday, the day before the state tournament was our 1 year anniversary that we started this. Yeah. We never thought that we'd be here as grown as much as we have.
Yeah, we just two guys that like wrestling and want to talk about North Carolina.
We're nobodies. You guys wrestling, you're the ones that are important. We would not be doing any of this without you guys.
Yes, just want to keep promoting y'all. Yeah. And thank you for the support so far.
Yes. And we're not stopping here. We got a lot of stuff planned for this summer.
Check out the content that was dropped. If you were busy at the state tournament, all the stuff that's on there right now. You can go watch all the quarters, the semis talk, our pre-show, all that
Day
stuff.
1 highlights, Day 2 highlights, and our newest state finals highlights.
Rhett Hoy was a madman. We were up real late, and he was getting that together while I was working on some other stuff, getting those highlights together for you. So go watch the Day 1, Day 2 highlight, and the massive, incredible job he did on the state tournament highlight. We appreciate your support. We're out.